What's going on, guys? Brian back to talk about Game of Thrones and the Season 7 finale. Just Season 7 as a whole and into Season 8 a little bit. So a general discussion of Game of Thrones. Obviously, spoiler warning, if you're not up to date of the show, you haven't seen the episode, or you don't want to know any of this information, stop watching now, as I don't want to ruin it for you. So obviously, spoiler warning, stop watching now. But here we go for those who want to know and want to talk about it. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel that Season 7 is one of the best seasons, if not the best season, even if it's shortened like this. But we had the meeting of Cersei's side, Dany's side. It was crazy to see all these people together in one room, I guess you would say, in one particular part. And it's cool to see that and just continue the fact of reuniting characters, which has been awesome. So you had Bronn and Jaime at the very beginning, ready for a battle, ready for a fight, but they were clearly outnumbered, and they will always be outnumbered now. But the Dothraki and the Unsullied, I have one question though. I have several questions, but one about the Unsullied. How the heck did they get back unscathed? I mean, the last time we saw them, they were being surrounded by Euron and the boats, and they just ended up back at King's Landing outside of it without any problems, with all their soldiers and everything intact. So I don't know what's up with that, but I like it. I like Grey Worm being alive. The Unsullied will be needed against the White Walkers, that's for sure, as we saw at the very end, that they're in for big trouble going forward in Season 8. Now I want to talk about Theon Greyjoy for a second. I guess the Greyjoys in general. I'm interested to see what happens with Theon, if he can make it to Euron in time for, saving Yara. But also, Euron was supposed to go get the mercenaries that was, Cersei sent him to go get. So I'm interested to see if that happens. Is he going to save Yara? Is Euron going to die? I don't know what's going to happen, but I am excited for that part of Season 8. Even though it's probably be a small part of the season, it's a nice little twist, and Game of Thrones loves to do that, and I love Game of Thrones for it. Now, another big setup for Season 8 is Cersei and Jaime breaking up, basically. How gross is that? But Cersei is pregnant. She's playing off that she's pregnant. Is she really pregnant? I don't really know. It doesn't really matter, because I don't really see her having a child. I don't see her surviving Season 8, but either way, Jaime and Cersei are gone. They're separated. Jaime leaving is pretty big, right? Just for the fact that he's not leading the Lannister army. Who will lead the Lannister army? Bronn? I don't know, right? But either way, Jaime is going, I assume he was going to Winterfell. He was going to join up with Dany's side and Tyrion and to help them and kind of say that Cersei's not going to help you guys and kind of spread along the message. But the epic Dany Cersei meeting was good. It was very good, and I liked all the different aspects of it, especially when the dragon flew down, stood up the top, climbed down, and she just kind of slid down the dragon like a badass. Pretty cool. Now, another big question I have is Tyrion. What did Tyrion and Cersei actually talk about? What was that meeting at the end? We saw them say, oh, I loved your kids, and I hate this, and I hate you, and you hated me, and whatever, and they hate each other, clearly. But Tyrion doesn't come back and talk to the guys after he meets with Cersei. Cersei and her group come back to the group and say that they will help them, and it's great. And you're like, oh, good, we need help. But then it's all a lie, and Tyrion has this concerned look on his face, really the whole season, but especially when Jon and Dany are getting it on, and we'll talk about that in a second, why that's kind of gross, but people really like it. It's weird that you don't like Cersei and Jaime, but you kind of like Jon and Dany. It's just weird. But Tyrion has this concerned look on his face when he's in the boat and he's standing down the hallway and he's looking, and it's concerned look like, did Tyrion betray Dany with Cersei with that meeting? Or is he just concerned about that he knows Cersei's not going to help her, or he's just worried about the romance between them two? A lot of stuff is going on with that, so I just am interested to see what's going to happen in Season 8 with that. I just hope Dany does not get betrayed by someone, but she might. And let's talk about Rhaegar and Lyanna. And we knew this if you followed the steps and you followed the theories on there. So the show finally caught up with the theories that we knew it. Now the characters know, well, some of them know about it. Bran and Sam know. And you kind of figured that Bran knows the information from back in Season 6. And he's a computer now, so he knows everything. And he's just going to tell people about, actually, Jon Snow is not a Snow or a Sand. He's a Targaryen, and he has the rightful claim to the throne. And I just thought this info right here, this graphic, it's by HBO. Just look how confusing everything is. Who's who, who's with who, who's related to who's connected with who. Just, it's kind of crazy. But Bran knows the information. He's a computer. He's just so weird just how he's portrayed, just the body language. He's got no emotion. He's just all information, no emotion. He's not really human anymore. So it'll be interesting to see how his information gets around and if it messes Danny and Jon up. And I feel Bran will have a huge part in season 8, of course. We did not get the Clegane Bowl, the Mountain versus the Hound. I still want that to happen. I don't know if it will because we only got 6 more episodes left. Hopefully they are extended episodes. But when the Hound came right up to the mountain and was like, you know who's waiting for you. You know who's going to kill you. You know who you're going to die. Why the reasons you're going to die. Hopefully that happens in season 8. Hopefully it's a very satisfying death. I'm interested to see how it happens, but the Hound versus the Mountain, I still want to see that. Speaking of deaths, we finally got this. Littlefinger, gone, good riddance, terrible, tried to outsmart Sansa and Arya and everyone, and your luck and your smarts and your persuasive abilities towards people are over. You're gone. You taught Sansa too well, I'm guessing, right? She turned against you, used it against you. Pretty cool. Is it a very satisfying death? I think so. I think the character needed to go for a long time. Now he's gone and no looking back. And the big epic finish to the episode was the Night King blowing a hole in the wall with the blue fire. Pretty awesome. Didn't know if it was going to be ice or fire or whatever, but looks to me as blue fire. And people are like, oh, they're going to go around the wall. It's going to freeze and they're going to do this. Nope, we're going to go right through this sucker. But the big question, is Tormund alive? He was stuck on the wall at some part of it when the wall came down. Now, we didn't see him die. And the general rule is if you don't see him die, they're still alive. So he better be alive, right? I think he should still be alive, and Beric as well. So I don't want them to die. I want them to make it out and make it back to Winterfell ahead of the group, because we can't have characters like that, like Tormund, die that way. Come on, the Night King got his dragon. He's heading towards Winterfell, and the group of his White Walkers are going towards Winterfell. He's got Walker Giants, and it's just crazy to see this army of millions. I mean, there's so many of them, and I think there's going to be a battle and a showdown at Winterfell, which is great. I can't wait to see that. I think that'll be a huge part of the season, is the White Walkers versus Bran and the Starks and the history of things. Bran has to be the guy, right? Bran has to be the way to kill all them. The dragons have to be defeated. I guess there's going to be casualties. Of course, are we going to have Drogon kill Viserion again? I think so. So we'll see how it goes down in season 8. I can't wait. I believe they start filming in October. It's going to take forever. Probably won't be back till June or July is just my best guess. I can't wait for it. How about you guys? What'd you think of season 7? Post your comments below, and thanks for watching, guys.